Hey yo, good morning YouTube! Welcome back to another video, and by popular request, we have a full breakdown of my rehab routine. Now this video is going to show you everything from my deep tissue massage, all the way to neuro-stim acupuncture, all the way to things that I just do around the house to help with my glute activation, my back activation, my shoulder activation, and just trying to be as well oiled as humanly possible. A lot of you guys know I have a severely herniated disc between L4 and L5, and every single day, unfortunately, it has been getting worse and worse and worse. I've been doing every single thing in my power to make this better, and I want to bring you guys on that journey to show you guys how much work you actually can put in to this rehab side. It's really easy to get under 600, 700, 800 pounds and squat. It's very easy to bench 500 pounds. It is very hard to properly activate your glutes, have your hips and your knees aligned in relation to your ankles, having good enough ankle mobility to be able to squat in your ideal stand. And that is what we are going to go over today in depth. So if you guys aren't really about this whole thing, that's what this video is about. But if you guys like the whole rehab side of things, you're gonna love this video. I'm just finishing up with the client check-ins. I have all the orders from the Mark Plumber printed and ready to be bagged up and shipped out. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. If you haven't hit that subscribe button or toss this channel a like, make sure you do so. And I believe we are gonna wrap things up and go to our deep tissue massage, where we're gonna try to break open these calves, break open these hips, and we'll see where it takes us. Just got to Align Therapy, where my boy Aaron Physique Johnson is going to do some work on kind of my calves and my legs and my knees, my ankles, and try to free up some space where that disc is hitting that nerve to try to get me out of some pain. Now I realize that this could possibly put me in more pain, because if it goes the wrong way and we end up causing more nerve pain or to protrude the disc even more, it'll be worse. But we're gonna try, because I'm kind of on my holy grail hope. But as you can see, guys, when I squat, if I was to put a perfect line down, technically speaking, my knees should be outside of my toes. And right now they're not, because my calves are so tight. My tibialis anterior, the front of your calf, is really tight. My hips are tight. So I'm really gonna have him get in there and loosen everything up today. I had him working on my shoulder tear for quite some time, and between him, proper rehab, the recovery peptides I sell on themarkplumber.com, I'm pressing 150-pound dumbbells again on the incline, which I haven't been able to do for months. So we're gonna get in there. We're gonna let him break down the game plan, and let's hope I feel better after this.
Not much.
What's up, YouTube?
The man.
YouTube, my name is Aaron. So Mark came in today with some calf pain, some front of the shin pain as well, and then he's kind of having that reoccurring chronic injury that he's been dealing with. I'm sure you've all seen the triple backflip, but a little bit of nerve kind of disc herniation pain. So the neurologists like to call that casalgia. Mark was kind of having some referring, burning, sharp pain kind of shoot down his leg. And then he was having some calf discomfort, primarily when doing deadlifts and squats, correct? Yeah? Yeah. So today's outcome, for the nerve stuff, massage therapy isn't going to be an instant fix. We definitely want to see some imaging. We definitely want to see some other tests done as well. As an RMT, I can't diagnose. I can give my clinical impression. We did a few tests. We saw that a few positive tests that kind of led to the nerve was kind of aggravated again. So today's outcome was definitely to decrease pain, and we wanted to lower the guarding because once you kind of have that disc herniation, what happens is everything kind of gets tight, and the muscles kind of seize up, which can be very uncomfortable. So we want to lower the guarding but not eliminate it completely, so Mark can have better sleeps, things like that. So we don't want to decrease pain. We want to centralize the pain. We want to stop the referring, which I think we did a good job at that today. Mark says his intensity was lower. And then with his calves, he thought it was tibialis anterior, but we kind of came with the clinical impression that it's actually his peroneals. So we worked on those. We did a little bit of instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization as well, which will decrease the fascial restrictions, things like that. We worked on the muscle, got everything, dropped the high muscle resting tension. So hopefully his next squat day, his next deadlift day, he's feeling good. So that was today's outcomes. See you later.
Absolutely, guys. So, like I said, I'll tag Aaron in the first section below if you guys want. He loves working on athletes. I mean, he's been working on me for like a year and a half now, and I really wouldn't trust anyone else. So, we're probably going to go get some food, and then we are off to our next stop for the day. So, let's go. Thank you again.
Hey yo guys, so we just made it to the gym, and today we're going to be doing some like upper body stabilization stuff because we just got like our legs worked on, right? So now I'm going to start doing some like upper body, and then next week when I go back for another massage, he's going to work on upper body, and then I'm going to do lower body. Mind you, I kind of do lower body like every single day now, but I'm going to take you guys kind of through like a voiceover because it's kind of loud in here, but I'm just going to do like my shoulder kind of warm up mobility.
Alrighty guys, so we basically go into a kettlebell front delt press. Now this is perfect for stabilizing the shoulder, but it stabilizes the rotator cuff, it stabilizes the infraspinatus, it stabilizes all around the shoulder, because not only are you focusing on pressing up, but you have to focus on balancing that kettlebell. Balancing that kettlebell from right to left in this motion is going to be the absolute best for all stabilization. There's no band, there's no fixed motion. It's just going to be your shoulder that stabilizes the entire thing. Now this is going to be ridiculously hard, and this is only a 10-pound kettlebell, and even then I'm having issues pressing it up. But I've torn my left chest and I've torn my infraspinatus, and this was something that drastically helped recruit all the muscles needed to actually press again and press healthy. I go right into some external rotation. Now these ones are best done against a wall, and because you ideally want to take 3 points of contact, one being your head, 2 being your 2 shoulder blades, your elbow, and ideally you want to be able to touch your hand right to that wall without removing your shoulder blades or your head or your elbow from the wall. So as you can see here, both of my shoulders are against the wall, my elbows against the wall, and on my right side I have full rotation all the way up to touch that wall. But as you can see, that when I switch to my left side, that I'm not going to have that full rotation. I still keep my shoulders against the wall, but I'm about 2 inches away from touching, which just means that my shoulder on the left side is a lot tighter on the right side, which means that when I'm going for heavy bench presses or heavy presses at all, that I'm going to possibly strain that side more than the other. Or that side is going to take less of the load because it's tighter and your body likes to take the least resistance possible. Go right into some band work here. Now, if you guys know basic anatomy, your infraspinatus does wrap from the front of your shoulder all the way to the back of your shoulder. Now, when I had a light tear in my infraspinatus, my massage therapist would push right in between kind of like my trap and my rear delt, and I would be in extreme amount of pain. So by doing this exercise here, it really helps engage the infraspinatus as well as the traps, your rector spinae, which is all going to help your shoulder mobility, especially before shoulder or bench day. The last thing that I do here is scapular rotations or scapular dips. I'm not really sure the clinical name of these. When I tore my infraspinatus, a lot of rotator cuffs as well, this is perfect for one, loosening them up, but two, engaging muscles that you normally won't engage. You can do this on just the ground like I'm doing or on a lat pull down. I basically go right into another round of these back to back to back. Some key points to remember is that there's such thing as called active range of motion and range of motion. Now, range of motion is going to be something that you could force yourself to get into. Let's pretend that I had ridiculously bunk shoulders and I could barely touch my chest for bench press. And I would almost have to pull the bar into me to touch my chest on a bench press. That is called range of motion. An active range of motion is going to be where your body would like to go freely. So when you're doing all of these stabilization exercises, you want to stay in an active range of motion. You do not want to push your body past what it normally does. You want to instead get better at each of these through dynamic stretching, through these rehab exercises, by staying diligent to doing all of these drills. And then as time goes on and on and on, you'll notice that by debunking, quote unquote, your shoulders, they will just become a lot more free, a lot less injury prone, and you're going to go into each workout feeling a lot better.
Hey yo, good morning YouTube. Day number 2 to this recovery journey. You can probably see we are at Kinetic Edge. My chiropractor slash neurostim acupuncture. She does shockwave, she does a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not gonna bore you with all that because we've done that in several different episodes before. But like I said, I'm kind of on a holy grail right now, and I know chiropractors are not usually the best for slip discs, but what I'm gonna have her do today is stick a whole bunch of little needles for acupuncture in my back and then hook up what's called a tense machine to it. Now this tense machine is going to pulse the muscles so I can try to reduce the inflammation, but especially get the muscles around this slip disc firing. If you can get better glute activation, better stabilizers, then you have a better chance when that disc does unbulge and go back into the spine on being able to keep it there, because the muscles surrounding the area will be strong enough to be able to do it. So this may actually increase my symptoms, and I 100% know that, but at this point I'm gonna do everything I possibly can to make sure that this prep happens. But I'm in pain 24/7, and it's just, so we're gonna go set up a little time lapse, and yeah.
Okay. Let's do this. Bend your knees to 90 degrees. And just hold. Don't let me push you down.
Every time I leave these treatments, I always feel great. It's just I know that this time it feels good. My glutes feel activated, she worked, and that tense machine really helps activate your erector spinae, your glute. She did a lot of trigger point work with those needles. So I mean, I'm hoping that I'm gonna start taking this seriously. I was being really cheap, I'm not gonna lie. I was I was so obsessed with money for a bit that I'm yo, I'm not gonna do it. I don't want to go in. I shouldn't get this done. And then I just realized that my health is more important than anything that money can buy, because if I'm the richest in the world but I can't walk when I'm 40, what the fuck did I just work all that time for? So I'm gonna really start, I started taking my supplements more seriously, I started taking my recovery more seriously, I started taking my training, just everything more seriously. So we are gonna go get some food, and then we are gonna make our way. Well, we actually have some work to do. We need to go to the post office, need to print off some labels. But then we're gonna get some Alright, some food. We're gonna go to the gym, and I'm gonna show you guys kind of like my lower half body rehab. We're gonna be training back today, which again I won't be filming, but I'm just gonna show you the overall back rehab that I do, so you guys can follow along and hopefully get yourself in the best shape possible. So I will see you guys at the gym. Hey yo guys, alright, so we just got to the gym and I'm gonna take you through kind of like my lower day rehab. Now one thing that I haven't been showing you guys is basically this.
Now, I've been here probably about 5 times a day. Every like 2 hours, I set an alarm on my phone and I come on the inversion table and I try to hang upside down for anywhere from like 2 to 5 minutes, depending on how much my ankles start to hurt. Again, I'm just trying to decompress my spine as much as humanly possible, just to try to get some relief off that disc. I'm gonna keep hanging upside down and back to the gym, baby!
So we start off this with ball rolling the feet, a super neglected thing. Now your feet have 3 arches. It has 1 arch in the front, 1 arch in the side, 1 arch on the other side. So I would like to roll out all 3 arches of my feet. This just allows me to help torque the ground better on squats and just be more free. I go right into a tibialis anterior / quad stretch. I usually just text on my phone, and usually I'll take deep breaths and kind of push down farther each minute. I do that for 3 minutes. And then I stretch the bottom of my feet like so. Every, again, couple minutes, pushing down farther. And then I like to do a hip stretch, again, every minute, pushing back each farther and rocking. This is probably one of the best glute / squat exercises I've been doing to try to help get my knee outside of those toes. I will basically do a 4 or 5 point squat, and each way on the way down, I will do kind of some hip abductor work. I've always said those hip abductor machines are the reason I've squatted 800 pounds. And you can even see here, my knee still needs to go another 2 inches to get past my toe. So we're working on that, as well as taking some pressure off my slip disc. Again, we're going right back into some ankle mobility. You can see that my right ankle is great. I have almost an inch away from the wall and I can touch my knee. Now I've broken my ankles twice. I've sprained one of them 3 times just from skateboarding, snowboarding, and wakeboarding so much. And my left ankle is in some major rough shape. You can see that I barely can come close to touching the wall. But again, I'm always trying to remain 3 points of contact. My toe, the outside of my foot, and my heel. I'm just trying to torque the ground as much as possible, push through my glutes, my hamstrings, and my quads, and perfect that squat. Secondly, I go into some twists here while trying to open up my hip abductors. You can see that I'm still pushing my knee outside of my toe. That's the ideal position that I want to be in when I squat. And then again, just stretching out those hip flexors, keeping that knee and those hips open, holding that for a few seconds. My left side, because of my slip disc, doesn't allow me to go any lower than this. So I do need to take this slow, but it hasn't stopped me from trying to stretch open those hip abductors. But as you can see, I can't really get that knee as far. We go into more ankle and calf mobility. I like to just stand on a bench here, put a weight on top, and then every few seconds take a deep breath and push even farther, always while remaining 3 points of contact: your heel, the outside of your toe, and the inside ball of your foot. That is going to be the foundation of where you squat from. The next thing is, since my right side knee always caves in when I squat, we go in right into lunges with a band trying to pull my knee in and me trying to stay perfectly up and down and force that knee out. If you videotape your squat, you could probably see yourself do the same thing. Every time you squat, your knees slightly cave in when you start to push. A perfect squat, you'll have those pushing out all the time. And then we go right into some Superman. This just feels really good on my back. Anything like a cobra or a baby snake or little Supermans. Just trying to get my disc better and just be the best version I can. So this kind of wraps up my lower day routine, or a little bit of it. I'll see you back at home.
So that kind of wraps up the rehab day video. I hope that you guys can take some of these exercises and bring your training to the next level. Like, we always think like, oh, intensity in the gym, intensity in the gym. And then as the years go by and these little injuries start to add up, you come into the worst case scenario that I am right now, where I don't even know if I can compete or go to the competition due to how much pain I'm in. But if I was doing these types of things every single day from day one, then I probably wouldn't be in this situation. But you know, it's better late than it's better to be late and do it now than just say, screw it, I'll just stop walking. So take your health seriously. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're still watching, you're a true OG. Don't forget about my live Patreon, where we go over everything we can't talk about on YouTube. The subscription for that's going to be in the bio. Our first lesson on injections goes live April 1st. The first 20 people get a free training plan from themarkplumber.com, any single one that you want. And the text chat is open 24/7, and I will respond to everybody on there all the time. So thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you next video.